uniformly accelerated motion, where we're able to prove the first equation v is equal to u plus at. The second equation s is equal to ut plus half at squared. The third equation we said is v squared equals to u squared plus 2as. And I told you that the fourth equation can be gotten from s is equal to v plus u all over 2 all by t. Now, in today's class, we want to apply this equations in solving problems. So quickly, we want to look at the first question we have. Calculate the height from which a body is released from rest if its velocity just before hitting the ground is 30 centimeters. If velocity just before hitting the ground is 30 centimeters. Now, in solving this question, the first thing we need to do is to bring out what is given in the question. And from our question, the body is coming from rest. So our initial velocity will be equal to 0 meters per second. Now, while it got to the ground, we are told that just before hitting the ground, the velocity rose to 30 centimeters. So our v is equal to 30 meters per second. Now, what did they ask us in this question? In this question, we are asked to determine the height. And in looking for the height, we need to also understand that in a question like this, the standard value of acceleration due to gravity, which is letter g, is given as 10 meters per second squared. Now, from what is given to us, we have a value for u, we have a value for v, we have a value for g. We will now know that if we are looking for s, which is height, or h, you can present the height in h or f, then the next thing we need to do is to look at the question. Time is not given in this. And because time is not given here, the only formula that will help us, or the only equation that will help us get to this answer, is the third equation, which is v squared equals to u squared plus 2as. And since we have gotten this formula, from here we will be able to solve for the value of x. So first of all, we now say that the final velocity is 30. We have 30 squared is equal to 0 squared plus 2 multiplied by 10 times s. S in this case is our height. So when we have this, 30 squared gives us 900 is equal to 20s. Because 2 times 10 will give us 20. 20 times s will give us 20s. Once we have gotten this, s can be gotten by dividing both sides by 20. So we have 900 divided by 20. Just like we have 20s all over 20 is equal to 900. So 20 cancel, s becomes equal to, this cancel this is 1, this is 45. So s becomes equal to 45 meters. Remember, without a unit, you have not written an answer. So the answer is the height attained was 45 or is 45 meters. Next is another question we have here. And the second question we say a ball is released from a height above the ground. There's a ball that is released from a height above the ground. Let's say this platform. We have to find its velocity after 5 seconds. And in all these cases, the acceleration due to gravity is also given as 10 meters per second squared. So quickly we look at the physics. What is given? We have the velocity that we are looking for, and we are given t. We have g. T is 5 seconds, and our g is 10 meters per second squared. What again is given in that question? We have the ball is released from the height above the ground. So if the ball is released from the height above the ground, at the point it is before being released, it was at rest. So our initial velocity u will be equal to 0 meters per second. And so we look for the final velocity in this case. Now, by virtue of the parameters given, time, acceleration to gravity, initial velocity and final velocity, we can apply the first equation of equation which says that v is equal to u plus 8. And then, in this case, a is equal to g. So v becomes equal to u plus g. And we multiplied by 5, given here as our time. And by this, V becomes equal to 50. 50 what? Meters per second. Is that clear? If that is clear, we can move forward to solving another one. And the third question we are going to look at is, and the third question, the third question, and we'll be done for the day. The question says, a cricket ball, a cricket ball, so let me take the question. Cricket ball is thrown vertically upward an initial velocity of 50 meters per second. We are required to find its velocity after 3 seconds. We are required to find its velocity after 3 seconds. Now, in solving this question, the first thing we need to understand is that the initial velocity, the value of u is already given. U is 50 meters per second. Now we are told that the ball was thrown vertically upward. And throwing the ball vertically upward means that A becomes equal to minus G. Why is A equal to minus G? Because the cricket ball is working against gravity. So A becomes equal to minus G. So the value of the acceleration due to gravity becomes negative because gravitational force acts downward and the ball is going against it. And so by this, our G is already given. What's the value of it? We are looking for the velocity, which is the final velocity after a time of 3 seconds. After a time of 3 seconds. So this also takes us to the first equation. And by applying the first equation, we have V is equal to U plus 8. And with A being equal to minus G, V becomes equal to U minus G. Remember, the initial velocity is given as 50. So we have V equals to 50 minus 10 multiplied by 3. So V becomes equal to 50 minus 30. So our final velocity becomes 20 meters per second. Is that clear? If that is clear, then we are okay for this class. Any question? If there's no question,